My brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you sit down, look at the chaos around you, and wonder why things didn't go according to plan. You tried your best. You prayed. You planned everything so carefully. You had a timeline in mind, a dream you were chasing, a result you expected. But then the road shifted. The doors you were sure would open remained shut. The people you thought would be there suddenly walked away. The outcomes you worked so hard for just didn't happen. And in those moments, it's so easy to feel defeated, to feel like maybe your efforts didn't count. Maybe your du'as were ignored. Maybe Allah didn't see you. Maybe He forgot you. But the truth is, He didn't. He never does. What you may not realize in that moment of disappointment is that Allah sees beyond your limited vision. He hears the conversations you don't hear. He knows the consequences you don't know. He protects you from things you were too focused to notice. You see a closed door. He sees a fire behind it. You feel delayed. He knows you're not ready. You want something now. He knows it would break you. And so while you may be drowning in frustration over what didn't happen, Allah is quietly writing a story far greater than anything you could have scripted for yourself. There are people who begged for a job only to be rejected. They cried, they questioned, they felt lost. But months later, they were offered something so perfect, something that gave them peace, purpose, and provision far beyond what the first opportunity would have brought. There are people who cried over broken engagements, shattered friendships, lost business deals, only to look back and say, Alhamdulillah, it didn't work out. Because what came after was more beautiful than they ever imagined. And in every single one of those moments, it wasn't their plan that unfolded. It was Allah surprising them in the most beautiful way. The problem is, we often equate success with what we want. We make dua and then tie our happiness to a specific outcome. We say, Allah, give me this job, or make this person stay, or open this door for me. But what if Allah wants to give you something better? What if His plan is different and far greater? When the Prophet Yusuf was thrown into the well, it looked like abandonment. When he was sold as a slave, it looked like injustice. When he was wrongfully imprisoned, it looked like humiliation. But each of those steps was part of a divine plan that would eventually raise him to a position of honor, dignity, and power. If Yusuf had only seen the present moment, he would have thought everything was falling apart. But Allah was silently aligning everything in His favor. That's the beauty of Allah's plan. It's always working for your good, even when you can't see it, even when it hurts, even when it's slow, even when it looks like a setback. Sometimes Allah removes things from your life not to punish you, but to purify you. He detaches you from people or situations that were not good for your heart, even if you loved them. He redirects your path not because He's being harsh, but because He's preparing you for something far better. And when that moment finally comes, when things suddenly fall into place in the most unexpected way, you'll realize just how perfectly He was working behind the scenes all along. But here's the challenge. We need to trust Him before the outcome. It's easy to say Alhamdulillah when the gift is unwrapped and beautiful. But real faith is saying Alhamdulillah when the gift is still wrapped in confusion. Real belief is trusting the author even when you don't understand the chapter. And that's when Allah's surprises feel the most beautiful, because they come after the struggle, after the waiting, after the heartbreak. They come when your heart has softened through trials, when your soul has learned to surrender, when you've realized that control was never really in your hands to begin with. Sometimes Allah doesn't change your situation because He wants to change your heart first. He delays the blessing so you can grow. He holds it back so you can detach from the dunya and attach more deeply to Him. And when you finally stop chasing things and start seeking Him, He gives you both His nearness and His gifts. And you experience this quiet, gentle moment of realization that the delay wasn't a punishment. It was a blessing in disguise. There are also times when Allah surprises you with something you didn't even ask for. You may have made do for something else entirely, but He gives you a gift so fitting, so healing, that you can't even believe you once thought your original plan was better. You say, Allah, I didn't even ask for this, but it's exactly what I needed. That's the kind of surprise that humbles you, that brings tears to your eyes, that makes you fall in sujood not out of desperation, but out of sheer gratitude. Because you realize that the one who created your heart also understands what heals it. And then there are moments, very personal, very intimate, when you're struggling silently. You haven't told anyone what you're going through. You're carrying pain in your heart, fears in your mind, and worries that no one else sees. And just then, something small happens. Maybe someone checks on you, or you hear a verse, or an opportunity shows up, and you feel like it was sent just for you. That's not coincidence. That's not luck. That's Allah. That's His way of letting you know, I'm here, I see you, I know. Those quiet surprises, those moments of divine attention are worth more than anything in the world, and reminds that it's easy to forget these truths when you're in the middle of the test. When things don't go your way, Shaitan whispers all sorts of lies. See, Allah doesn't care. Your doors don't matter. You're not good enough. But remember, Shaitan wants you to despair because despair distances you from Allah, but hope pulls you closer. So don't let a closed door define your faith. Don't let a temporary delay make you question eternal mercy. Trust that Allah knows. Trust that He's not done with your story yet. Because when He surprises you, it will be so worth the wait. And maybe today you're waiting. Maybe you're hurting. Maybe you're wondering when it's your turn. Maybe you're tired of seeing others move forward while you remain stuck. Maybe you feel like your dreams are slipping away. But remember this, your journey is not forgotten, your struggle is not overlooked, your patience is not wasted. Allah is writing something for you, and He writes with precision, with beauty, with mercy. When the right time comes, nothing can stop what is written for you. Not the people who doubted you, not the opportunities you missed, not the timeline you thought you had to meet. Because when Allah decides to surprise you, it will be in the most beautiful way. So beautiful that you'll look back and understand why everything had to happen the way it did. So don't rush the plan. Don't force what isn't meant for you. Don't tie your happiness to what you think is best. Leave space for Allah to surprise you. Because when He does, it will exceed your expectations, heal your wounds, and remind you that He truly is the best of planners. At that moment, all you'll be able to say is, Subhanallah. This could only have been from Him.